What's going on? Appreciate you hopping on and watching this video. I'm super excited to chat with you today. My name is Jeremy, and I'm here to tell you about the API connection that we have built with CRM and with PT Everywhere. I've been super lucky to be working with the PT Everywhere team, Jonathan and his staff over at PTE for the last 6 or so months to get version 1 done of this API connection. And we're finally here. We're finally ready to roll it out to the whole PT Everywhere community. Before I dive into it, I wanted to give you a little bit of background about who I am and, kind of like, why I'm the one who's talking to you and kind of my involvement with this whole thing. Again, like I said, my name is Jeremy DuPont. I'm the owner of Patch. We are a digital marketing company that helps cash and hybrid practices, physical therapy practices, with digital marketing. So we set up back end systems. We build out custom CRMs. We run Google ads. We do back end SEO, blog creation, really anything that has to do with your digital footprint in your back end systems. We help cash based physical therapy and hybrid physical therapy clinics grow and scale. And the reason that I started this company was because I actually started a fully cash based physical therapy clinic called Ripple Physical Therapy in downtown Boston in the winter of 2021. I grew that clinic to 7 figures. We had 7 staff members, 2 locations, and we are fully cash based. And I really grew that on the back of digital marketing, back end systems, and leveraging the data within PT Everywhere to make sure that we're following up with patients. Patients are fulfilling on their plans of care. People aren't going 30, 60, 90 days without coming in for an appointment. I was actually lucky enough to sell and exit that clinic, and is kind of why I started Patch, because I love the digital marketing side of things so well. And the reason, as soon as PT Everywhere opened up their API, I was super intrigued because I knew I was leveraging, and I'm sure you are as a clinic owner as well, so much of PT Everywhere's data. And I was pulling reports and trying to organize Excel sheets, and it was a bit unorganized and very time consuming. So as soon as the API was rolled out, I knew this was going to be a huge solve for my old clinic, Ripple, and all of the clinics that we were working with inside of Patch that were using PT Everywhere. And so what the API does for us is it gives us all of the appointment data, all of the patient data, and it puts it into a backend CRM system. And it helps organize all of that data. It helps you do your follow up, and it saves you a ton of time on the back end and generates a ton of ROI for your clinic by making sure that your patients are coming in the appropriate amount of times and they're not falling off your schedule. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to demonstrate and highlight how the API works, what it actually looks like, and I'm going to show you, what our standard API connection with PT Everywhere looks like, and how you could also work with us and leverage, a ton of the automations to really drive a bunch of revenue for your clinic. So first, where I'm going to start is with the actual API connection and what this looks like. So here we are. We're inside of our CRM system. We use HubSpot, and this is where the API app is built within PT Everywhere. And basically, what you can see is within our CRM system in your HubSpot account, all of your PT Everywhere data is pulled and utilized into the system, and it organizes it really, really nicely for you. So this API connection, it pulls over the data on a daily basis. So this is live and this is updated data. You can see here, obviously all of this is blurred out here. But what we'll pull over is the name of your patient, the email that they have, who their treating clinician is. So who is the staff member that's actually seeing this patient, what is their date of their last appointment. So when was their last appointment that they came in for? You can see yesterday, February 21st, 4th. Maybe they don't have a last appointment on the books. You can see the date of their next appointment. So they have another appointment on the books. So for example, this person here, their last appointment was yesterday, but they don't have another appointment on the books. So that's a red flag for us. And we'll talk about some of the automations that we build out. But that's just kind of what we're looking at. And again, this is something that's a little difficult to access inside of PT Everywhere. And this API connection makes it really, really easy to understand. So all of this will tell us what the date of our next appointment is. This next column here, if you're a cash clinic or you're a hybrid clinic and you offer some cash services, this is going to be if you sell packages and the amount of sessions that people have remaining on their package. So you can see most of these people here have 0. If we go to some of the later ones, or if we update this here, we can see, these people have 24 sessions left, 12 sessions left, 6, 5. So you're really able to understand, again, how many sessions people have remaining on their package. And then this one here is going to be the total sessions completed. So this person has come in 1,500 times, 691 times, and you really start to get an idea. What you can start to, get from this is you can start to see what is lifetime value, what is the average amount of sessions people are actually coming in for. So it's super helpful data. So this is all of the data that we're pulling over. And a good thing to note too is that, anybody that signs up with us and does this API build, we're taking requests on what appointments you want pulled over as well. So if you want, a certain financial metric being pulled over, or if you want a certain appointment date metric to be pulled over, these are all things that we can build out, and we're constantly updating this program as we go. We just know these are the high leverage KPIs that people are looking at. So what we can do, and why we build this inside of HubSpot, is we're able to take this data and we're able to create certain views out of it. So this is really helpful if you're a clinic owner and you're trying to understand, who hasn't been in the clinic in the last 30 days, or if you have front desk staff and you want them to follow up with people who haven't been in the clinic in 30 days or 90 days, or even like when I ran my clinic, we were doing 14 days. So anytime somebody fell off the schedule for 2 weeks, we wanted to be able to follow up with them. So this is where, this view here will basically tell us, here is all of the people who have not been in the clinic in the last 30 days. And we can go in and we can start to see, okay, this person here, their last appointment was on January 15th. They have 5 sessions remaining. They do not have another appointment. So, the treating clinician should be reaching out to that person and trying to get them back in on the schedule. So, a daily task for you or your admin can be to just go to this list here, see where people are at, see who hasn't been in 30 days, who has sessions remaining. And even if you take insurance and you don't do packages, you could say like, okay, this person hasn't been in 30 days and they don't have another appointment. Let's send them an email. Let's try to get them in the door. So that's a really helpful one for both cash and hybrid clinics. Another one that we like to look at is, these are all the people who have less than 3 sessions remaining. So again, this is going to be geared a little bit more towards clinics that are offering packages and have that cash option. So you can see here, these are all the people that have less than 3 sessions remaining. This is important for us because we know you need to sell them another package once they run out of sessions. So if they get below 3 sessions, this will flag us in our system to understand, okay, this person's only got 1 more session. We need to sell them another package when they come in the door. We can also do this one where, they don't have a next appointment on the books. And they have less than 3 sessions remaining. So again, same thing. If they don't have another appointment on the books, but they do have sessions remaining still, these are people that we want to follow up and we want to reach out to. And again, if you're an insurance-based clinic and you want to do all this stuff based on last appointment or like type of insurance that they're in, if this is something that you're reporting on inside of PT Everywhere, we will build this out for you, no problem. So this is in general all of the data that you're going to be pulling over from PT Everywhere. Again, the really helpful things here and where you start to see the ROI and where you can reactivate a lot of your patients is when they have, when you can start to understand the date of people's last appointments, the date of their next appointments, and then if you're selling packages, how many sessions do they have remaining inside of that package? And then based on all those metrics, you can either set up automations. This is what we do with Patch, or you can just simply look at this data and you can follow up with people. And we're seeing on average people reactivating anywhere from 4 to 12 or 13 patients every single month just from this simple follow-up process here. So if you're struggling to keep your patients consistent and keep them coming in the door, this is a really easy solve to reactivate thousands of dollars a month in physical therapy sessions. All right, so I know I've been talking about ROI a little bit here and just some of the data that we've been seeing so far. These are things that I wanted to share with you guys. Overall, this is, what we're seeing. We've been using this API for about 6 months now on, the data that we've been pulling over with the date of last appointment, date of next appointment, total sessions completed, total sessions remaining in the treating clinician. So with the standard API, what I showed you guys of just the data pulling over, you having a really clean and easy way to understand appointment metrics and package metrics, being able to take that and implement your own follow-up business systems. We're seeing clinics reactivate 3 to 4 patients at minimum a month just based on that standard API pullover. With Patch, we also build out loads of automations with all of this that will automatically email people and stay on top of them and enroll them in email drips. We're seeing that reactivate 7 to 8 patients per month. And again, these are all automated emails based on the appointment data. They're also automated tasks based on the appointment data as well. So the difference between the standard API, where you just kind of look at the data and understand, when you need to follow up with somebody, and you're doing it a little bit more manually. This right here, the automations that we build out will create tasks for either you as a clinic owner, your staff PTs, or your front desk to follow up with people based on those appointments. So, a couple examples here. The automated email that will go out will be if somebody's last appointment was more than 30 days ago and they do not have another appointment on the books, they'll get an automated email that says, "Hey, we miss you. Would love to have you come back in. Here's a link to self-schedule yourself inside of PT Everywhere, or to, reply to this email with days and times that work for you to come in." Just that simple automation right there usually gets you 4 or 5 emails in response back for people wanting to come back in. So that's one. The other way we do it, very similarly, if you wanted to have an automated task that's created where if a patient hasn't been in the last 2 weeks, say, and they don't have another appointment on the books, and you want to task your front desk or task your staff PTs to follow up with that patient, that's something that you can do as well. And that's, a little bit higher touch point. So if you're a cash clinic or you're a hybrid clinic, you want that personal touch with your patients, and you want, somebody from your office reaching out versus an automated email reaching out, these tasks that are created are super, super effective. And it kind of gives like that automation. So it saves you and your staff a ton of time, but it also keeps that high touch point for reach out with the cash paying patients. And again, same thing, we're pulling over all of the same data as the standard API. So again, usually the way I look at this is if a session is worth $200, then the standard API, if you're at reactivating 3 to 4 patients, that's going to be an extra $800 in ROI that you're generating for your clinic. And if you're doing the automations, that could be, again, conservatively $1,600 worth of ROI that you're invoicing in sessions fulfilled on that you may not have been without this follow-up system. Really quick, what I want to show you guys as well is some of the automation that we're able to create based on all of this data. So, at its core, just having this API and pulling all of the data and keeping it really clean and having a really good understanding in real-time data of appointment metrics. So date of last appointment, date of next appointment, total sessions completed, total sessions remaining, who the treating clinician is. Just having that data in a really simple sheet that's automatically updated each day is worth thousands of dollars of ROI each month, hands down, no problem. But what HubSpot and why we build inside of HubSpot, what this allows for us to do is it allows for us to create a lot of automations based off of this as well. And this is what Patch does for you if you are interested. And I want to show you guys a quick example of some of the customizations we're able to build inside of HubSpot based on this PT Everywhere data. So, for example, this workflow here, this automation that's created, what this does is it'll basically what ends up happening is when somebody's last session is more than 30 days ago and their next appointment date is unknown. So again, they haven't been in the clinic in 30 days. Their next appointment, they don't have one on the schedule. What will happen is a task will get created for me as the clinic owner to follow up and reach out to that person and try to get them in the door. And then we're also able to send an automated email to that person. This email basically says, hey, we haven't seen you in the clinic in a couple weeks. Would love to get you back on the schedule. Here's a link to schedule, or send us days and times that work for you this week to come in, and we'll confirm that we have them available. This is where we build out these emails custom to what you want them to be. But this is just a really small example of what we're able to build out. And we have best practices of what we know reactivates patients really well based on the session data. But this is where we can also custom build things out for your clinic, because we know not all clinics are one size fits all, and they have to be true to your demographic and your avatar. So this is what we can help build out for you inside of Patch. And again, where we really take all of this PT Everywhere data and the session data, utilize it to the advantage, and get patients to come in on a consistent cadence and not have as many people fall off the books as you normally do. So hopefully I was able to show you how awesome this API connection is and how we're just getting started, and how the API connection that we have built right now, and even the Patch automations that we have built out in that backend system, how it can help generate thousands of dollars in new revenue for you every single month. So obviously the big question now is, how much does all of this cost? And what does all this look like? So, currently what we've been running up until this point for the last 6 months is we've had a $500 API setup fee, because we got to build out all the custom coding. We've got a host. We got to have a data warehouse. We got to have all of these things that, as a physical therapist, is I know is way over my head, probably way over your head as well. And we have a whole team on our Patch side of things that builds all of this out. So there's normally a $500 setup fee. To have that data being pulled over on a daily basis, and to have custom things built out for you in terms of what things you want from PT Everywhere into HubSpot being pulled over, that was $149 a month. And then if you did want us to go in and build out some of the custom automations with the email marketing, that ranged anywhere from $750 to $2,000 per month. But what we're doing with PT Everywhere, and now that we have everything built out, is we're offering a pretty huge, significant discount for the first 50 clinics that sign up with us. So what we're doing is we're waiving the setup fee. So that's going to be free. The monthly API fee will drop down to $99 a month. Again, that will include the daily pull over of all of that data. That will include any sort of custom properties that you want us to build out and you want us to pull over into your account. And then if you did want to work with us and create the custom email marketing campaigns and the automated emails based off of the PT Everywhere data, we're offering a huge discount for that. And you also get the $99 a month API for free as well. So if that is something you're interested in the page that this video is going to be on, you'll have a link to book a call with us. We're more than happy to chat through any of this. What I suggest you do is you fill out the form to inquire about this, so you make sure that you're one of the first 50 clinics. I've had hundreds of clinics reach out to me asking about this, when is this going to be ready? What is it going to look like? So I assume that these first 50 clinics that are going to get access to these special savings are going to go fast. So if you're interested in this at all, I highly suggest you get on the wait list, you book a call with us to chat through what this all looks like. And that way you can make sure that you secure your savings and you can be one of the first clinics that we build this out for.